Ever since I first picked up a camera, it's always been my dream to create a more big budget style commercial. Something that felt like what we see on TV every day. Actors and sets that I could direct. 2 months ago, me and my team got an opportunity to do just that. And this is the story of how it all happens. It all started back in December when my team and I created a free commercial for an organization called the Humane Society. The commercial we created was a heartwarming narrative about an old man who finds love and family through pet adoption. The results of this commercial were absolutely amazing. We got local recognition, thousands of views, and even were nominated for an award. Fast forward to a couple months ago when I was working away and opened up my email to see an email from Community Care, another local organization, saying they saw what we did with the Humane Society and they would love to have something similar for their own organization. So we went to work right away with countless late nights, brainstorming ideas, thinking of different concepts that could work for what they told us, what their problem was. And the main problem that they told us was that so many of these people who need help don't want to feel like a charity case. But the idea of the services that Community Care provides is that they're trying to help people before they actually need the help. We knew that the message that we created out of this would have a massive impact on so many lives, so we knew that we had to get it right. We had to get the right message, we had to tell the right story, because at the end of the day, this is people's lives that we are working with. We are just marketers, but we have an opportunity to help in the way that we know how, which is telling people stories and getting the message out there. After a while, we finally settled on an idea that felt right. The idea was this message that life changes, but community doesn't. And it really stemmed from so many conversations I think that we have with older people, with our grandparents or any other seniors that you talk to. They all talk about the golden age and the times when things were so much better when I was a kid and people used to help each other, and now, you know, the world is so whatever. It's just that rhetoric that we hear all the time, and we thought we'd kind of play off of that a little bit and tell the story of an old woman who's reminiscing on her past and show how this person grew up helping her community, and now it's kind of time to pass the torch and not feel like a charity case, but instead feel that she is still a part of something. She's still a part of community, and there's this organization out there that can help extend that position within a community by, you know, taking care of those things that might be harder for them now, but allowing them to still do the things that they love every day. So we put together a pitch deck, a script, a storyboard, and sent it over to Community Care, and they absolutely loved the idea. We were just ecstatic with joy that we could go ahead with our concepts. We knew that we needed to be able to pull this off because it was something that we were passionate about and something that we had sold them on, that, you know, we could do this. And we did believe that we could do it, but now we needed to prove it. Because this is for a not-for-profit organization, we needed to make it work financially for them as well as for ourselves, but still be able to tell the story that we had in our heads. So to make that work, there's a lot of DIY. That included finding our own props, going out to thrift stores, finding little pieces that we could throw in the background of our sets, going out to local organizations like car shows. We went to one particular one where we talked to a whole bunch of different people and sold them on our story and asked if they were willing to help out, and we got 3 or 4 volunteers who were super nice to offer us their cars to use. We also needed a town that worked for our 1950s style half of the commercial. So we ended up finding a local town nearby called Millbrook, Ontario, that often has a ton of Netflix and Amazon Prime series all shot there. So it is a perfect, beautiful little town. It was a bit of a long shot in our head that an agency like ourselves could just go and book out an entire town for a day. It just doesn't seem feasible or possible. But it turns out it's a little bit easier than we think. At first, when we were approaching the city about booking out, we were in an email chain with a couple dozen people from, the police, from the business association, from everybody who's involved in maintaining the city was all on this email chain trying to give us approval to book out the town. And at first we felt a little bit of resistance, I think because they're so used to working with these big productions. They were asking us questions like, how many trailers are we gonna have? How large are our generators? And all of these different questions that would make sense for a big production. So after, hundreds of emails back and forth, I just decided to give them a call and explain to them that yes, this is a commercial we're shooting, but it's for a local organization, and it's not going to be this big production. We're going to have a small crew, and really something at the end of the day that's going to be giving back to the community. I took the time to talk to them about this. They really bought into it, and their demeanor fully changed. They were extremely helpful. Somebody from the business association even offered to take all of the letters, the notices that we had to send all the businesses that we were going to be filming that day, and offered to hand them out for us, which saved us so much time, and we were extremely thankful for it. That was kind of the theme of all of this. As soon as people kind of understood what our mission was, everybody just wanted to help out. We had the local theater guild put us in touch with the actors that we hired. They gave us props, they gave us wardrobe, as well as we had other actors volunteer their time, and overall it was just such a positive experience, and everybody wanted to help out, and it made our job so much easier. Another thing we had in mind was our opening scene was one of the most important ones. So it took place at a 1950s style grocery store. So for this set, we needed a fruit stand to make it look like a grocery store. We just needed a sign. So we found a design online, used a projector to project the design onto a big piece of cardboard, and painted on our grocery store sign. Once we had all of our props and actors and storyboards and gear and everything put together, it was finally time to get to the location and shoot. So 3 a.m. we show up at Millbrook and we start to set up. The reason we went there so early is because the sun rises on the east side of the city. We wanted all natural light for this shoot, so we wanted a nice, beautiful, sunny, golden hour morning. So we were on a time crunch to get hair and makeup done, get all of our gear set up, get the set design done, all before the sun comes up into the sky so we can start shooting. And we have just such a small window to be able to shoot this before the sun comes up fully and completely washes out the image, and it doesn't give us that look that we're going for. The nerves were really starting to set in at this point. We've got the skills, everything is in place, but there's always that anxiety in the back of your head that something's gonna go wrong. A piece of gear won't work, or maybe your idea is not exactly what you think it's gonna be. So the clock is ticking. We were originally supposed to have 3 or 4 cars show up to be driving back and forth in the background, but we ended up only having 1. By this point, we were starting to get worried that the sun wasn't going to come up quite the way we wanted it. There was not a cloud in the sky, but the sun was coming up a little bit more behind the buildings than what I had anticipated. Like any shoot, you've kind of got to work with what you have. So I decided that we were just going to start shooting, even though the lighting wasn't exactly where I'd wanted it. We did a few takes. We really collaborated on what the best ways we could shoot it were. And that's what I really like about working with a small crew is, you can kind of lean on each other for different skill sets, and everybody's got a different perspective, and it's good to hear from everybody's ideas. And I think at the end of the day, you get a better product when you do that. So we shot it a few times. It still wasn't quite looking right, and I wasn't quite happy with what I was seeing. But then, not too long after, the sun just perfectly started to rise up over the buildings and peek through, and we started to get those beautiful highlights and shadows coming up, and that nice warm glow. So I made the decision to shoot it all again and get another take with this nice lighting. And that's when everything just started to fall into place. Our actors were nailing their spots. And we started coming up with new scene ideas on the spot that could fall into place. So we found this old table on the side of the road, and we come up with the scene of somebody helping another older person move their furniture into their house or something like that. So we dressed up another person and got them into the scene and filmed this extra scene, and it ended up making it into the final cut. Day 2 comes along, and it's a lot less pressure. We don't have as much of a timeline. Our actress is now switched out from the young actress playing this character to the elderly actress. Our character Sophie, who's now in her 80s and reflecting on her life, and now needs to accept help as she helped people back in her day. So it's a really passing of the torch type scene. The actor we had was another volunteer, so she had never acted before, but she did an amazing job at taking direction and showing that emotion that we were trying to get out of her. It just turned out great. We shot a few different scenes. The first scene was her in her living room struggling to get up, and just when you think she's given up, there's somebody from community care who's there to help her get up. And that's when our montage sequence of the great things that community care does to help comes in. We have a Meals on Wheels person delivering food. We have a driver coming to pick her up and take her to a community event, and a big message, outgoing, happy ending. So at the end of the day, I think this process was something I'll never forget. It was my first dive in, and my team's first dive into a bigger, more narrative structured commercial. In the process, we learned so much from just how it all works, and it's something that feels intimidating, but with the right amount of passion and the right people, you can actually make it happen. It really opened my eyes to the things that I could work on in the future. I think my key takeaways were to trust the people around me, spend more time getting those shots, and most of all, just believing in the plan and believing in the idea. Like waiting for that sun to come out and believing that the plan that we've put in place is going to come together. You just gotta trust the process and know that at the end of the day, it's all going to work out. If you want to go see our commercial, please click the link here and go and watch it. Leave a comment of what you think, share it, and every view that we get on this, again, helps somebody in the community and gets the message out. Thanks for watching.